let us lean in closer for a moment to a quiet truth that often whispers just beneath the surface of our busy lives. A truth felt more deeply, perhaps, as the years unfold, as the seasons of our being gently shift. Have you ever observed how light dims? Not suddenly, but almost imperceptibly. A window that once glowed with morning sun, now softly shadowed by the evening's approach. This is often how it begins for a woman, a subtle transition, a quiet fading. We speak of losing touch, of distance growing in relationships, but sometimes the greatest distance is not between two people, but within a single soul, a quiet retreat, a turning inward, not for rest, but for solace from an unacknowledged ache. This is when a woman begins to feel invisible. Not physically, no. She walks among us, she smiles, she speaks. Her form is present, but her essence, her vibrant current, the very pulse of her being, it feels unseen, undetected. It is a profound kind of solitude, this invisibility, not just for others, but for herself. For when the world ceases to truly see her, she too begins to lose sight of that radiant core within. Her inner light, that unique spark of life, begins to dim, not extinguished, never extinguished, but veiled, muffled. Think of it, a flower needing sunlight and nurturing to bloom in its full glory. If the light recedes, if the gentle rain ceases, it does not vanish, but its petals might draw inward, its colors might soften, its fragrance become more subtle. It holds its beauty, yes, but it no longer broadcasts it with the same joyful abandon. When a woman feels unseen, unheard, truly unacknowledged in her depth, her wisdom, her very presence, a profound shift occurs. Her creative current, that sensual energy that feels not just desire but imagination, intuition, and the sheer joy of living, it can begin to ebb. It doesn't disappear, it simply recedes, seeking refuge within. We often think that passion leaves us, that the fire of connection simply cools with time, with routine, with the relentless march of days. But often it is not passion that has left us. Perhaps in truth we have, in some quiet corner of our being, left ourselves. We have ceased to tend to that inner flame, to listen to its gentle hum. And when that happens, the very current of life itself, which flows between a man and a woman, which binds two souls in a sacred dance, feels different. It becomes thinner, less vibrant. The spontaneous currents of joy, the deep resonance of intimacy, the spark of shared laughter, they still exist, but their flow is hindered. Desire, then, is no longer the clear, vibrant language through which the soul speaks. It becomes a murmur, a forgotten song. It is not about a lack of physical attraction, no. It is about a deeper disconnection. A woman's sensuality, her innate capacity for pleasure and deep connection, is profoundly linked to feeling seen, cherished, and valued for who she truly is, beyond roles, beyond expectations. When her unique energy, her particular rhythm, is not met with presence and wonder, she naturally, instinctively, draws inward. It's a protective mechanism.
To expose a vibrant, delicate inner world to an environment that feels indifferent or demanding, it is too vulnerable. So she shields it. She closes herself off, not out of malice, but out of a deep, primal need for safety. This is not a conscious choice, not always. It is often a gradual unfolding, a slow retreat from a space where her radiance felt unwelcome or simply unnoticed. And in that retreat, she might even begin to forget the very brilliance she possesses. She becomes invisible to herself. When this profound sense of invisibility takes root, we don't just lose the physical expression of intimacy, we lose vitality, we lose the creative spark that lights up our days, we lose the deep, resonant joy of simply being. The wellspring of life, though still present, feels less accessible. It is a gentle slowing, a quiet withdrawal of energy, and the yearning for reconnection, for that feeling of being truly met, becomes a silent ache, a longing for what once was, or for what was always meant to be. But here's the delicate truth. The essence of a woman, her deep well of life-giving energy, never truly disappears. It waits. It waits for the light of conscious presence. It waits for acknowledgement. It waits for the gentle invitation to emerge once more. And in those moments, those places where words feel like brittle things, where explanations seem to fall short, remember that sometimes a single touch, infused with genuine presence, with pure intention, can heal more than 1,000 carefully chosen words ever could. A touch that says, "I see you." A look that says, "You are here. You matter." A quiet listening that says, "I am with you." Because to truly see a woman, to truly meet her in her essence, is to invite her back into herself, to help her remember the profound, vibrant current that flows within her. It is to remind her that her light, far from fading, has simply been gathering strength, waiting for the gentle permission to shine once more. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. We speak often of passion, of the spark that ignites between two souls. But what happens when that spark begins to dim? Not with a sudden, violent extinguishment, no. Rather, a slow, quiet receding, like a tide drawing back from the shore, leaving behind a profound silence that, paradoxically, can be utterly deafening. This is a space many women know, a feeling of invisibility. It's not about being physically unseen, not about being overlooked in a crowd. No, it is far deeper, far more intimate than that. It is the absence of being truly witnessed, the subtle yet profoundly felt lack of authentic presence from another, the quiet understanding that her essence, her unique light, her very soul's melody is not being recognized, it is not being heard, it is not being cherished. Imagine, if you will, a delicate flower, a blossom of exquisite beauty. It opens in the gentle warmth of the sun, drinks in the nourishing light, vibrant and full of life. Its petals unfurl with joyous abandon, its fragrance a generous offering to the world. But what happens if the sun withdraws? If the nourishing light stops its embrace? If the warmth of recognition is replaced by a cool indifference?
The flower doesn't die instantly. No, it begins a quiet internal process. It closes its petals, slowly, almost imperceptibly at first. It conserves its precious energy, drawing it back into its core, into the safe, dark earth of its roots. It doesn't cease to be a flower, but its outward expression of vitality, of radiant generosity, pauses. It pulls back, protecting its tender heart. So it is, precisely, with a woman's energy. Her life force is a living, breathing current, a deep river flowing within her, connecting her to the very pulse of existence. When she feels truly seen, not just observed, but seen in her vulnerability, in her strength, in her dreaming, in her quiet moments, when she feels truly heard, truly acknowledged for who she is, beyond her roles, beyond expectations, right into the vibrant heart of her being, that current flows outward. It manifests as warmth, as creativity, as an infectious joy. It manifests as her unique sensuality, her deep capacity for connection, for empathy, for bringing beauty into the world. Her spirit shines. But when that gaze of recognition, that vital mirror of authentic presence, becomes clouded or simply absent for too long, her energy doesn't simply vanish. It doesn't dissipate into thin air, leaving nothing behind. Oh no, her energy, her essence, is far too precious for such a wasteful disappearance. Instead, it begins a profound retraction. It pulls inward. Like that flower closing its petals against an encroaching chill, her inner light recedes. It seeks refuge in her deepest, most sacred inner chambers. It coils within her, like a precious slumbering serpent, waiting. This is not a conscious decision, you must understand. It is not an act of will or a deliberate choice to withdraw, to close off. No, it is an ancient, innate wisdom within her body, within her soul, seeking to protect what is most vital, most sacred. Her energy, her very essence, her sensuality, they don't simply fade away. They become inaccessible to the outside world. They become preserved, held in a safe internal space, a sacred vault, waiting for the warmth to return, waiting for the light of true seeing to once again illuminate her world. And what does this deep internal retraction look like in her daily life? How does this profound shift manifest? It can be subtle at first, almost imperceptible to an unobservant eye. A quiet weariness that no amount of sleep seems to cure, a persistent fatigue that drains her spirit more than her muscles, a dullness that slowly settles behind her eyes, dimming their natural sparkle, softening their vibrant intensity. The world around her, once perceived in vivid, rich hues, now seems to soften, to gray, as if a filter has been placed over her perception. The vibrancy of life feels muted. She might find herself losing interest in things that once brought her joy, things that once stirred her passion. The creative impulse, once a joyful current, may quiet, becoming a mere trickle, or even disappearing altogether. The desire to connect, to share her inner world, to reach out to others, may lessen, replaced by a quiet solitude that feels less like peace and more like insulation. A subtle emotional detachment begins to set in, not because she has stopped caring, but because the wellspring of her outward expression, the source of her vibrant engagement, has retreated deep within.
She might feel a sense of longing for something she cannot quite name, a quiet sadness for a vibrancy that feels just out of reach, a constant ache for a connection that seems to elude her. This is why, when we speak of this energy, this sacred current within us, we must understand its profound connection to our very being. It is not just about physical desire, not just about intimacy in a narrow physical sense. No, it is the very essence of our life force. It is our capacity to create, to heal, to inspire, to truly live, to bring forth new life, new ideas, new ways of being. It is the animating force behind everything that truly matters. And so, when energy is blocked, when that vital current is forced to recede inward due to a lack of authentic seeing, a lack of true presence, a lack of deep acknowledgement, we don't lose sex. No, we lose something far more encompassing, far more fundamental to our existence. We lose vitality. We lose the animating spirit that fuels our engagement with the world, our joy, our curiosity, our very sense of aliveness. The world becomes flatter, less resonant. Think of it. When a woman breathes deeply, truly, expansively, life breathes with her, vibrant and full, a symphony of connection. But when she feels unseen, unheard, unacknowledged, her breath may become shallower, her movements less fluid, her presence less expansive, less grounded. It is as if a part of her has gone quiet, listening intently for a resonance, a recognition, a call that isn't there. She holds herself back, anticipating silence. Her sensuality, too, is an intrinsic part of this vital current. It's not merely a physical sensation or a drive to unite bodies. It is a deep, embodied awareness of life itself, a rich capacity for feeling, for pleasure, for connection to the natural world and to herself. When she feels invisible, this inner landscape of sensuality becomes less accessible. Not gone, mind you, never truly gone, but hidden, tucked away like a precious jewel in a locked casket, awaiting the key of true presence. So, for those who wonder why the passion has faded, why intimacy feels distant, why the spark seems lost, perhaps the deeper question to ask is not, what have we stopped doing, but rather, what have we stopped seeing? Or even, have we forgotten how to truly see? To truly see another, especially a woman in her magnificent depth and complexity, is to offer a profound invitation for her energy to unfurl, to emerge from its protected internal space. It is to offer the warmth, the light, the authentic presence that allows her to bloom again, to express her unique essence without fear of being misunderstood or overlooked. For her essence, her light, her vitality, they are always there. They are simply waiting for the conditions, the subtle shifts in attention and presence that allow them to flow freely, abundantly once more. This awareness, this deep understanding of how profoundly our energy, our very life force, is intertwined with being seen and acknowledged, is a potent key. It's a key not just to rekindling passion in a relationship, but to reawakening a richer, more vibrant life for oneself, for both partners. When one feels truly seen, truly cherished for their essence, the current of life flows more freely, more joyously through both. It enriches the entire tapestry of existence. We speak of desire, of attraction, often with a whisper, or perhaps with a blush. But what is this force we feel, this tremor in the air between two souls? It is so much more than what we commonly understand.
So much deeper. For what we call sexual energy is not merely a physical craving, a fleeting impulse of the body. No, it is the very current of life itself, the primal, creative pulse that animates all existence. It is the river that carved the canyons, the fire that forged the stars, the whisper that brought forth the first bloom in spring. It is the force that compels the seed to sprout, the artist to create, the healer to mend. Think of it. This energy within us, it is the sacred hum of creation. It is the divine intelligence that weaves galaxies and designs a single dewdrop. It is everywhere, and it is deeply, profoundly within you. When a woman feels unseen, unheard, uncherished, when she begins to withdraw, to close herself off, to become invisible even to herself, this vital current, this life-giving flow, does not simply vanish. It cannot. Energy, as we know, is never destroyed. It merely transforms. In these moments, this magnificent, sacred energy doesn't die. No, it simply retreats. It folds inward, like a blossom closing at dusk, protecting its tender heart. It waits. It becomes a quiet, potent reservoir within her, a silent promise. It waits for recognition, for a space where it feels safe to unfurl again, for the gentle, knowing touch of understanding, for the reverence it deserves. It waits for the breath of life to fill her once more, to invite it back into expression. When a woman breathes deeply, truly deeply, life breathes with her. Her breath becomes an anchor, a bridge to this waiting energy. Each inhale, a quiet invitation. Each exhale, a gentle release of all that holds her captive. In that deep breath, she doesn't just draw in air, she draws in the very essence of existence, the universal life force that mirrors her own inner current. This energy, dormant though it may seem, is not passive. Oh no, even in its waiting, it is alive.
It is the source of her deepest intuition, a silent knowing that guides her. It is the wellspring of her creativity, the urge to bring beauty and meaning into the world, whether through art, through nurture, through simply being. And it is a powerful, profound source of healing for herself and for those around her. Desire, in its purest sense, is not the body calling for release. It is far more profound. Desire is the language through which the soul speaks. It is the soul's yearning for connection, for wholeness, for expression, for the dance of life to continue, vibrant and unhindered. When this language is silenced or misunderstood, the soul suffers. The body feels the echo of that suffering. Imagine this energy as a magnificent wild river. When it flows freely, it nourishes everything in its path. It brings life, fertility, joy. But if obstacles are placed in its way, if it is dammed or diverted, the river doesn't disappear. It pools, it gathers strength. It waits for the obstruction to be removed, for the path to clear, so it can surge forth once more, perhaps even more powerfully than before. This is the sacred energy within a woman. When she feels unseen, the river pools. It doesn't dry up. It waits. It waits for the eyes that truly see her, not just her form, but her essence.
It waits for the heart that truly feels her, beyond words, beyond expectations. It waits for the space where she can simply be, authentic and undefended. To acknowledge this waiting energy is not to demand its immediate return. No, it is to offer quiet respect. It is to create the conditions for its gentle reemergence. Like sunlight coaxing a sleepy flower from the earth, it requires patience, warmth, and unwavering presence. This creative, healing force, it is always there. It is the song of her being. It is the secret power that allows her to nurture, to inspire, to transform. It is her innate wisdom, her capacity for deep empathy, her ability to bring forth new life in all its forms. When this current is blocked, it's not just passion that fades. We don't just lose intimacy, we lose vitality. We lose the vibrancy that colors our world, the spark that ignites our purpose, the deep well of joy that nourishes our spirit. The world too loses something precious when this sacred energy is held captive. But remember, it is only waiting. It is not gone. It carries within it the memory of its full flow, the blueprint of its divine expression. It holds the promise of renewal, of blossoming. It only asks for a gentle awakening, a safe haven, a loving gaze, the understanding that its presence is a gift, a sacred trust, and the quiet invitation to breathe deeply and freely, allowing life to breathe with her once more. When a woman begins to feel invisible, something essential within her starts to dim. It's not a sudden collapse, but a gentle, almost imperceptible retreat. Like a flower that slowly turns away from the sun, she begins to conserve her light, drawing her vibrant energy inward until eventually the petals of her spirit close. The laughter might quiet, the spark in her eyes might soften, and the very ground beneath her feet can feel less firm. This isn't a choice she makes consciously, but a deep, primal response to an absence of acknowledgement, an echo of not being truly seen. She shuts down. Her sensuality, which is the very current of her aliveness, begins to fade, not because it ceases to exist, but because it lacks the mirror of presence to reflect it, to cherish it, to call it forth. But this journey inward, this quiet withdrawal, is never truly an end. It is, in its own way, an invitation to presence. For both the man and the woman, it beckons a path of return, a rediscovery of what it means to be truly here, truly awake, truly connected,
not just to each other, but to the deep wellspring within. For a man, this path begins with a new way of seeing. It means learning to look beyond the familiar, beyond the surface, beyond the roles and expectations. It asks him to cultivate a gaze that is not merely physical, but deeply spiritual, a gaze that seeks out the hidden garden of her being. Can he see the subtle currents of her inner world, the delicate dance of her emotions, the quiet strength that resides in her heart? Can he perceive the unique poetry of her spirit, the fleeting grace of her subtle energies, the sacred mystery of her unfolding? This is not about observation, it is about reverence. It is about opening his own heart to receive the depth of her essence. A man doesn't lose power when he ages. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder.
When he ceases to be amazed by the intricate beauty of the feminine, by the quiet strength and luminous vulnerability that coexist within her. When his gaze becomes utilitarian or dismissive or simply absent, he diminishes not only her, but also himself. True power, true masculinity is found not in dominance, but in the capacity for profound presence, for an unwavering, appreciative gaze that can make a woman feel not just seen, but cherished into being. This is the healing gaze, a silent affirmation that whispers, "I see you in all your magnificent complexity, and you are precious." Such a gaze acts like a gentle sun, inviting the closed petals to unfurl once more, reminding her of the warmth and light she holds within. This quiet journey back, this gentle awakening, is always possible. The energy is never truly lost. It simply waits for the moment of acknowledgement, the sacred invitation to presence. Love. Feel. Breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. We have journeyed through quiet spaces tonight, exploring the delicate currents that animate us, that connect us. We've touched upon the subtle ways life can dim or seem to disappear when the soul feels unseen, unheard. When a woman feels invisible, she often draws inward, creating a sanctuary that can, paradoxically, become a prison of self-silence. Her light, once radiant, softens to a glow only she can perceive, sometimes not even that. But what truly shuts down? Not the energy itself. Never. The energy within you is not a fleeting spark that can be extinguished by neglect or the passage of time. It is a river, vast and ancient, that may sometimes run underground, hidden from the light, yet always flowing. It is the deep, steady hum of existence itself. Think of it not as lost, but as waiting, waiting patiently, like embers beneath ash, still holding immense heat, ready to burst into flame with a gentle breath, or a seed, dormant through winter, holding the entire blueprint of a magnificent tree, awaiting the kiss of spring. This is the truth of your own vital force. We speak of fading passion, of intimacy that feels distant, of a desire that once burned bright, now reduced to a whisper. But this whisper, it is still a sound, it is still a call. It is the soul ever present, ever yearning for expression, for communion, for life. Between a man and a woman flows not just passion, but life itself. This current, this sacred exchange, is a reflection of the larger dance of creation. When we feel disconnected from this current, it's rarely because the source has dried up.
More often, it's because we've built dams or allowed silt to clog the channels, through misunderstanding, through hurt, through the quiet assumption that our worth has diminished. Desire, in its purest form, is often misunderstood. We are taught to fear it, to control it, to compartmentalize it. But what if we saw it differently? What if we understood that desire is not the body calling, it is the soul singing? A deep, resonant song of yearning for connection, for beauty, for truth, for the very experience of being alive, fully and vibrantly. This song is universal. It is the drive to create, to explore, to nurture, to love. When this energy is blocked, we don't lose sex, we lose vitality. We lose the sparkle in our eyes, the spring in our step, the spontaneous joy that infuses everyday moments. Life can feel flat, muted, stripped of its vibrant hues. We lose access to a potent source of healing and inspiration that is our birthright. Attraction, too, carries a profound truth. It's not sin. It's the universe remembering itself. A recognition of complementary energies, a magnetic pole that speaks of ancient harmonies. To deny this attraction, when it arises from a place of genuine reverence and awareness, is to deny a fundamental language of existence. It is to close ourselves off from a deep understanding of connection. This isn't about chasing youth or striving for an ideal. It's about presence. It's about wonder.
A man doesn't lose power when he ages. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder. And a woman doesn't lose her allure with time. She loses it when she stops feeling the sacred current within her, when she no longer sees her own magnificent light. When she breathes deeply, life breathes with her. This energy, the secret radiance, is not something you must earn or retrieve from an external source. It resides within you. It is the essence of who you are. It has simply been waiting for your gentle acknowledgement, for your conscious invitation to flow again. It waits for you to grant yourself permission to feel, to breathe, to love, not as a duty, but as an act of profound self-acceptance. There is no need for grand gestures, no complex techniques. The path back is often found in the quietest moments, a conscious breath, a soft touch, a moment of deep listening to the whispers of your own heart. It's in remembering that you are inherently worthy of feeling alive, seen, and cherished, most importantly, by yourself. Allow yourself this quiet reawakening. Feel the subtle stirring, the gentle hum that resonates from your core. It is the sound of life, eager to express itself through you once more. Let this feeling expand, filling every part of your being with a warmth that is both ancient and new. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken.